RaceBot has given us the go-ahead, and we are off.
Indeed we are.
Okay, so our runners are just starting off, headed to the west. Pretty standard opening. Just check these close by open caves, see if they find anything useful. No items yet, no sword. And they're just going to keep progressing. No tricky enemies either early. You never want to see those Lionels early to kill you quick. That's really an annoying start.
Yes, it certainly can be. Like the screen we see a Para on.
Yeah, definitely, but he is rewarded by finding level 9 at the original level 3 spot very early.
That is very nice in a randomizer to find level 9 early.
And now we have Zeb in a level as well. And Paratroopa has joined him. But neither of them have swords, so it's going to be difficult to progress through, and really no weapons at all. So they'll probably just take a quick browse, see if they can find anything useful, and then head out, make a note of it, and move on.
And both players fighting in the reverse C room, which tells us, plus where they are on the map, that was 7 they just found.
They will probably postpone coming back to that level as long as they can. Never want to deal with the size of level 7 early on.
Indeed, especially if you get a race like I had last night, my match against Karakarn. Level 7 had the ladder.
And that's tough because if you do postpone, then you won't have the ladder for a very long time. Find yourself stuck in a lot of the later levels. And look over here, we have Paratroopa picking up his sword in the original level 1 cave, so good place to check, and it benefits him. And Paratroopa doing the smart thing, farming some blue moblins, see if he can get some bonds. And he does. So there's a couple caves close by he may choose to check, but no, it looks like he's going to head off into the desert instead. ZebGedney's checking out the Take Any Road caves, see where he gets led to. Finds that one's under a power bracelet spot, so that narrows down one of those 4 spaces.
Which is good news for him. It makes it less likely that bracelets required.
Yeah, absolutely. The more you can rule out those items, the power bracelet, the raft, the recorder, the better off you are. Information is valuable early. And ETAP in chat points out another good thing. The door repair message is just that exclamation point. You have no time to pause up A and avoid paying that. So money could start being an issue if the secrets aren't generous enough.
Indeed it could. We haven't actually seen any of the secrets yet, so we don't have an idea of how much they are, but...
Yeah, so far this is being fairly stingy. We've only seen 2 levels, one of which was 9, although ZebGedney has just found another one all the way up in that northeast corner.
And this appears to be level 1.
It does, in a very quick Triforce. He decides to take it, and that makes him first on the board.
Meanwhile, Para finding the Armus item, and it's the magic boomerang. Or scrap metal, as I like to call it.
Yeah, not the greatest find under the Armos, but if you don't have many offensive choices like these racers do now, it's something you'll probably pick up just so you have those options to pick up items.
Oh, and that's huge. ZebGedney finding the magic key is one of the items here in 1.
That is huge. That is a great find. Doesn't have to worry about keys at all for basically the entire seed.
Which is good, otherwise he would have been key blocked right there.
Already paying off. And we don't see that Paratroopa is in that section right now, though he's moving in that direction. May find it. And we see that the coast item is the bow. Yeah.
Coast item is the bow. So ladder required.
No real surprise there. The ladder is almost always required, but it's nice to know early on that you'll be getting that required item, one of those few absolutely required items, just by walking over there and picking it up. ZebGedney finding out that the other item in 1 is a heart container, which is nice enough, especially early on. Gets him closer to White Sword, if and when he finds it, but doesn't do much to progress you through the seed otherwise.
Still nice for him, considering he does not have a sword yet.
That is true. Of course.
Yes.
Yes, the Armos item was the blue boomerang, magic boomerang, however you like to call it. Paratroopa doing a screen wrap to get over to this pesky cave that's northwest of level 1. Easy to forget that it's there. It's out of the way if you don't clip over or have the ladder. Unfortunately, it's just a penalty, so nothing good over there for his effort, but he'll continue on over into the level 6 Death Mountain region.
Still a good thing that he remembered to check there. I've lost a lot of time in mini races forgetting that spot.
Yeah, if you don't check if you don't keep track, it's easy to forget where you are. And we see Paratroopa picking up a quick Triforce. I'm not even sure we had a chance.
It appears to have been level 5.
Yeah, most likely with that T-room. So we have our racers right now kind of in opposite sides of the map, so they're going to diverge a little bit in what they find. Interesting to note that ZebGedney has still not checked level 1 to find the wooden sword, and doesn't seem to be headed that way anytime soon.
He does, however, discover coast item as the bow, so they now both know that.
And yeah, that is a long secret message. You never want to see that, but then again, both runners have to deal with the same messages, so it kind of evens out in the end.
And that secret allowing Paratroopa to buy his candle, finally.
Yeah, Paratroop is definitely in good position early. Having a sword, having the candle, putting himself in a good position to clear out levels. Of course, Zeb does have the any key if he finds some more levels to use it in.
Someone in chat bringing up a good point that the large secret was only 51 rupees, almost as low as it can go.
That is brutal. That actually changes your strategy quite a bit. You likely won't have enough money to afford the blue ring, and if any other items that you have to buy are required, like the bait or the arrow, it puts you under a lot of constraints. So they'll be looking for the red ring pretty hard, I bet.
Indeed. Fortunately, the other secrets seem to be slightly above average.
That is good, but with the large secret down at 50, that's on average about 150 rupees that they're going to be missing over the standard 100.
On top of the fact that they can't up A out of door repairs because of the one letter message.
Yeah, a very money tight seat it looks like it's going to be. We're still very low on level discoveries. We've seen 1, we've seen 5 and 7, and of course 9. But other than that, we haven't seen too much really in the way of levels or even in choose 1, the heart container. Oh, but Paratroopa finds the magic sword cave.
Always nice to find, although you don't know if he's going to be able to get it or not later.
Yeah, it's not too far from start, and maybe we'll find a level over here. But it isn't good to count on getting Magic Sword because on average you'll see players with about 10 or 11 hearts at the end of a randomizer, and that's just barely enough to pick up Magic Sword in some cases. There is that range of 10 to 14 hearts it may require. And we see that the blue ring does cost its normal price of 250 rupees. So it seems unlikely, unless these players can do some heavy saving, that they will be picking that up. Paratroopa headed over to that northeast corner where level 1 is hiding. See if he makes it all the way up there or chooses to take another path.
Looks like he's going to finish checking the forest first now that he has Candle. He didn't the first time he came this way.
Yep, absolutely. Don't really want to go by any screens without checking them if you have the tools necessary. You might as well, as you go by, you can always come back later, but if you don't know what's there, you lose out on information. And Paratroopa finds him in this lovely shade of green level.
Which, because he picked up the map, we now know is level 8.
Thank you, Paratroopa, for making our job easier.
And over on the other side, ZebGedney checking normal level 1, so he has the wooden sword now.
Sure, he's happy about that. Didn't want to go 55 minutes again without having any sort of sword.
Yes, he's done that once already.
Paratroopa finding that staircase. Smart move, I think, to take it, see what's on the other side, rule out possibilities for when you're looking for the item caves. Although it puts him up against a lot of blue gorillas. Not fun to fight when you're low on hearts.
Yes, on top of which that key door in that room, he's only got one key.
Yeah, those are going to be a precious commodity until he discovers the any key, which is likely, though of course we've seen players pass up what we think are easy items in other races, so we'll have to see what he decides to do. Picks up the Triforce in level 8.
And level 8 having 2 items, this is a smart move to go back in and find them.
Yeah, definitely. Also a fairly easy enemy set. It's gorillas, rather than having to deal with the typical darknuts in this level if you're playing the regular game.
Also finding out taking the staircase is required to go anywhere, as the one way to go up is an old man that told him where level 1 was.
Well, he may make his way up towards level 1 soon, but yeah, it's a good thing to find out that taking the ladder was the right decision from the get-go. And Spirit Tsunami noting that all of the Triforces thus far that we've seen have been fairly early on, except we don't know where it is in level 7 yet. And that can change your strategy. If you can pick up a quick Triforce, you might take the risk of leaving a level behind. But so far, these runners seem to be hunting for items, like I would expect.
Yes.
ZebGedney gets his level 5 Triforce piece and goes back in to look for the item. Both of our players searching for items in their respective levels.
A good decision for both of them. Because we know bow is the coast item, but they're still missing ladder, silver arrows, both of which are required.
Yeah, plus there are a lot of other useful items that they could find. Both of them would like to find a wand, or especially the red ring. Would be a great find. But Paratroopa finds the red candle in level 8 and opts to pick it up.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think the red candle's a pretty good offensive weapon, especially early on, again. Only using wooden sword. You can get out a lot of those little shots to clear rooms of small enemies quickly.
Immediately makes good use of it, clearing out those ropes, and discovers the other item here is the wand.
Both items right next to each other, and another good pickup, both not required in any sense, but the wand does have that property of basically being the white sword against everything except whiz robes, and if you want to kill Dodongos, or of course Ganon. But it has that nice offense, so it's a good boost in terms of speed.
Yes.
ZebGedney still in level 5, I believe, trying to find that item, and has had no luck yet.
Yeah, he's seen both ends of the staircase, but not the item room yet.
Now, Paratroopa definitely heading in the direction of level 1, so he'll be likely getting a hold of the any key very soon. Unless he gets distracted by another level.
Another level. Which, since we've already seen 6 and 8, we know this is 7 based on where he, or 6 rather, where he entered, and it's whiz ropes.
It is that whiz robe set, and with what he's got on hand right now, may not want to tackle it, and yet just decides to leave. I think that's the right decision right now. Of course, we know that level 1 is right nearby.
Meanwhile, Zeb finds the item in 5, and it's the book. Sorry, Lizzie. We're not picking that up.
Yeah, I won't see most players pick it up, and Paratroopa, in retrospect, made the right decision in grabbing the Triforce and leaving, but if it comes out later that he's missing a key item, he might go back still to look for it. And Paratroopa has his any key, and now also no longer has to worry about keys for the remainder of this seed.
Indeed. Picking up the Triforce. I assume he'll go back in to find the other item. Yes, he does. He'll be slightly disappointed when he finds out it's only a heart container.
Yeah, not something you want to spend a ton of time searching for, but it will give him 6 hearts, and thus guarantee that he can pick up the white sword if and when he finds it.
That is true.
Someone in chat noticing that despite the low money totals and the penalty in this seed, both players have quite an amassed rupee total. So if they can hold on to that, they might be able to pick up blue ring or another item that they're really looking for. And Paratroopa finding another secret. Bring him that much closer to the cap of 255 rupees.
And another one.
Kind of lucky that he's finding all of these small secrets while he's close to the cap. Of course, given that 50 is the high secret, he wouldn't be losing too much money, but it's always a little bit of a risk. ZebGedney now in level 8.
Discovering the staircase is required, bombs over and finds it.
Thankfully, that's fairly straightforward. Doesn't have to search around too much. You get into levels like 7 where all the rooms are together. It can be hard to find the one specific path you need to go, but that lower area of level 8 is pretty much set. Paratroopa grabbing another Triforce up here at the White Sword Cave.
This appears to be level 3. That's what he's marked it as on his tracker.
Yeah, it definitely looks that way. And seeing that next room with the 4 doors pretty much confirms that this is level 3. This area over by the White Sword Cave and the waterfall, I find, are easy to miss and forget about and delay just because you have to. It's the one-way road. Once you pass the Lost Hills area, you can't go back. So you're kind of committing to going over there and just exploring those two. So it's easy to forget about. It's easy to wait, but it pays off for Paratroopa that he finds a level over there.
Yes, it does. And we have Zeb picking up 8 Triforce.
Yep, and I don't believe he's found either of the items yet. So choosing to go back in and take a look for those.
Speaking of items, Para has found the item in 3. It's the power bracelet.
Indeed, that's a good find. We'll be able to check those remaining power bracelet spots to see if there's anything useful hiding under them, especially at a level we don't know, may be required.
And he has full money, so he is choosing to buy a blue ring. That's a good call, in my opinion.
It's definitely one I can agree with. It's always a risk because, again, may find out that the bow is arrows are required, or bait is required. We have seen seeds like that. But you have the money, might as well pick up the thing that is of the most use to you right now. And Paratroopa picks up the letter, which means that if he wants to and has the money later on, he can pick up potion as well, just adding on to that defensive benefit there.
And coming down to check the extreme southwest corner here, this is another area it's easy to forget to come here. I've done it many times.
Yeah, it's easy to forget, but it is important to check if you're looking for things. And it's also just annoyingly out of the way, especially if there's a level down here and you can't whistle down or anything like that. It's time that you're losing by wandering that far away.
One seed I played recently, level 9, was down in that area.
Yep, and I know we've seen a few cases of levels being down in that corner in the tournament. So definitely got to check everywhere you can when you're around there. Never know what you might find.
And we have Zeb picking up the wand.
Yeah, probably not so happy that he spent this much time in 8 for that to be one of the items he finds, and he'll be even more disappointed when he checks this next cave to find out that it's just the red candle, but not necessarily bad pickups.
He is choosing to pick it up, which can be good. I usually do if I see it.
Yeah, I'm the same unless it's late in the seed, late in the race, then I'll just let it go by, because at that point I've checked most of the bush spots. And Paratroopa finds the white sword.
Is under a power bracelet slot. That's a huge find for him.
That is, in a lot of cases in Randomizer, it is the white sword that you'll be going into level 9 with, especially if you can't find enough hearts to pick up the magic sword. So good to have that. Doesn't have to worry that he might be stuck with the wooden sword for the rest of the seed. And Paratroopa did a neat little trick where he went to a fairy fountain to refill, and then did the up and A so that he would get the full refill when he respawned back at start, which is a nice way to make sure that you're not always running around on 3 hearts, which I find annoying. I always like to be at 5. Paratroopa entering another level. With the nice gray and red palette here, and picks up a quick heart container.
And because of that one block room, we can tell this is level 4.
Yep, the crazy block room. Very distinctive. Only occurs here in level 4 and in level 9 in First Quest. Of course, we're coming to the point soon in the tournament where those sorts of cues won't be as useful to our racers. We'll be introducing some complicated new quirks to the randomizer after we've narrowed it down to the top 8 in the winner's bracket. So one of these racers will be facing those extra seeds, one of which is shuffling dungeon rooms. So you can't use those room cues to know exactly where you are all the time.
Correct.
And
that option enabled, the rooms can be in any dungeon.
Yeah, and in Gleok's room, Paratroopa finds the Triforce in 4. So that gives him 5 and puts him well on the way towards his 8. But still, things that we need to find. We have not found the ladder yet. We have not found the silver arrows. We know where the bow is, but neither of our racers can pick it up until they find the ladder.
And over on the other side of things, we have Zeb making his way into 6.
Paratroopa finding his progress north is blocked by not having the ladder. Maybe that will indicate that the ladder is here in level 4.
B.
And it is interesting to note that it took ZebGedney this long to find level 6, given that it's just 2 screens away from level 1, which he cleared out quite a while ago.
I believe the issue is he didn't have bombs at the time.
Yeah, always difficult. I know I've done it where I've gone up into an area like that, not had bombs, and then just forgot about it because I thought, well, I went up there already. I'm done.
And Para discovering the item here in 4 was the recorder.
Useful find in Randomizer. Of course, there's one spot on the map that is blocked by the recorder, the original level 7 lake, but it's also transportation, and this is a race, so anything that can get you around the map faster, moving quicker, is a good item, especially if you have to go revisit levels for items later on as you're preparing to enter level 9. Zeb continuing to explore level 6 and finds the Triforce room, but passes it up for now to continue looking for the item. I would say that's the right call here this deep in level 6.
And then 5 seconds later decides to pick it up anyway.
And I think he figured out that there's really no place else for him to go there in level 6. And don't forget that Paratroopa found level 6, but did not go very far into it due to the equipment at the time ended up going to level 1 and not going back to level 6 afterwards. So he will have to go back into level 6 at some point to get the Triforce.
Yes, he does not have that Triforce yet. It's also beginning to look very likely that ladder is going to be in 7, although we have not found level 2 yet.
Yep, level 2 is the one we haven't found yet, and it is possible that the ladder is there. It'll be unfortunate for our racers if it is in 7, but could make things interesting if they have to go digging through all 33 rooms of level 7. Zeb gets the Triforce in level 3 and heads right back in to look for the item. No real surprise there.
Indeed, there's still too many important items missing.
Karakarn wishing absolute evil on our runners, suggesting that the ladder is in 2, the raft is in level 7, and then level 2 is at the raft spot.
That would be evil. Of course, he was my opponent in that race last night where I had ladder in 7. And 9 was raft blocked.
Yeah, you never know what the randomizer is going to give you. Sometimes everything's right out there in the open, and sometimes it can give you some really trolly, complicated, almost circular paths through the levels. ZebGedney finds the power bracelet in level 3. That'll give him access to a few more spots on the map, one of which we know is the White Sword Cave.
Which would be a very good pickup for him right now if he thinks to check where that was.
Yeah, always a little bit of a problem when you pick up something like the raft or the power bracelet. Those spots are kind of spread out all over the map. Don't necessarily want to spend a lot of time walking from spot to spot to check, so it's easy to pass those up for a long time.
And Para finding that 2's item was in fact the ladder.
That is excellent, just sitting there ripe for the taking. Of course, it has taken quite a while. We're 41.5 minutes in, and just now one of our racers is finding the ladder. You generally don't want to have to wait that long to find such a useful item. And it is good to note that Paratroopa is at 10 hearts right now, which means that if he finds the magic sword, actually I believe we know where the magic sword is, don't we? Yes, we do, on that coast cave. He can take a chance, go down there, see if he can get it. It's only a 20% chance at 10 hearts, but it is a doubling of your offense from this point, and makes Ganon only take 4 hits. It is very useful.
Indeed.
ZebGedney running a little low on health in his trek through level 3. Not level 3. Wherever he is.
He is in level 4, I believe.
4, that's right. And more gorillas. The boomerang does take 1 heart of health, so it does have to be a little bit careful.
Yes, the blue gorillas are rather dangerous for an enemy found that early.
Finds the Triforce, but at half a heart decides to pass it up.
He's looking for the item. And over on the other screen we have Paratroopa making use of the fact that he now has the ladder and picking up the bow.
Do not want to forget to do that. You'd hate to find yourself in level 9 forgetting, hey, I forgot to pick up the bow from the easy spot it was lying in.
And it looks like he is going to check for a magic sword while he's in the area.
Will he get it?
Yes, he is. 10 heart magic sword.
Alright, that pays off for him quite well. That is a great find when you still have level 7 and level 9 to go through. Big dungeons, lots of enemies to clear. Still don't have the silver arrows, so potentially might need to find those in level 7.
On top of which, he still has to go get the Triforce out of 6, which was a race rope dungeon.
Yeah, so
Magic sword makes them a whole lot easier to fight.
Yeah, he'll appreciate that offensive power. ZebGedney picking up his Triforce out of level 4. And that means both these racers just have 2 Triforce pieces left to get. We are very close. And Paratroopa finds that the level 6 item was the raft.
Decides to pick it up, although we know at this point that it's not required.
Yeah, and I believe Paratroopa at this point knows that as well. Yeah, he does have level 7 marked off on his map. But there might be a heart container. I don't believe they found all the heart container caves yet. Might look for that. Or may have just wanted it just because it looks good in his collection.
Speaking of heart containers, Zeb finding another one in a Take Anyone You Want cave. So he now has enough for a magic sword, although I don't believe he knows where it is.
Yeah, I don't believe so. He hasn't been down in that area yet. ZebGedney's still looking for the location of level 2, but he's in the right area, so he'll be finding it soon.
And that will be good news for him when he does, because we know that's where the ladder is hiding.
That'll be a happy sight this far into the race, although I'm sure he would have liked to have it much sooner.
Yes, it cannot feel good to still be missing something that important 47 minutes into the race.
Paratroopa back into level 6 to find the Triforce piece.
And manages to find the compass, so he now knows exactly where to go. 2 screens to the south.
Guarded by the very vicious and difficult coin boss.
And at the same time, Zeb finds his ladder.
We are going to see these 2 players' paths converge in level 7 very shortly, so we'll see how the search through that large, confusing dungeon goes.
Yep, that is going to be the last Triforce for both of them.
Ooh, Patra doing a number on ZebGedney. He has to be careful. Not that far away from the Triforce in level 2. Taking his time to make sure he doesn't get bodied by those Patra orbiters. I'm actually not sure what they're called. ZebGedney manages to make his way to the Triforce without dying, and now has just one left to go, the same one as Paratroopa, the Triforce in level 7. Level 7.
Discovers one of the stairways, but unfortunately it's just the travel staircase, not the item.
Yeah, I feel like that's always the way it goes. The game knows. The first one you find is always the path staircase and not the item.
That does seem to be true most of the time in 7.
But it does take him all the way to the northeast corner of the dungeon, so maybe can play a little bit of meet in the middle between the two different paths. And as noted in chat, level 7 was one of the first dungeons other than level 9 to be found, and it is the last to be cleared. I'm not really surprised by that. We thought they would wait a while to take it on, and they did wait till the very end.
Meanwhile, Paratroopa has found the item room, and it is the silver arrows. Level 7's item is required.
I'm sure he's very, very happy about that. Doesn't have to search all through level 9 to find those, just has to find Ganon and Zelda. Huge piece of information, especially if ZebGedney does not find the arrows before the Triforce. He may choose to go right to level 9.
And someone in chat commenting that Zeb is still on Wooden Sword. That is because he does not know where Magic Sword is yet, although he could get it because it's only 10 hearts. And the White Sword is under a Power Bracelet slot, and he has not checked those.
Yeah, and he knows he doesn't need to. So, will he choose to go into level 9 just on the White Sword? Or on the Wood Sword? Or will he search?
He may very well be going into 9-Wood Sword, which makes things very interesting.
It's also worth noting that we now know then that the level 9 items are the Red Ring and the regular Boomerang, aka Lord Banana, our favorite. So if ZebGedney chooses to go into level 9, he'll be going in with no ring, no defense, and a fairly low number of hearts. It's a difficult trek.
And no potion either. He has not found the letter.
Yeah, not a situation I would be comfortable in at all. I know that. Perhaps he feels a little bit more comfortable than I would.
Perhaps. I know if I were him, I'd check at least a couple caves that are still unexplored, hoping for a better sword.
Yeah, someone pointing out he doesn't have the bow yet from the coast, so he does have to go over in that general direction of the magic sword. May find it then.
Uh-oh. Bait required.
That is not something you see very often.
No.
But But it is a possibility. There are enough choke points in the various levels that the way the randomizer works, if they put that one room in that one spot, turns out you're going to have to feed an angry enemy.
Fortunately, it's sold in that shop that was at start, so it's not hard to get.
Yes, and Paratroopa keeping careful note of where those locations are, looking at his stream and his tracker, which is very good because you'd hate to get this far in and then realize you don't know where to go to buy the bait.
Having to deal with a manhandler, which is giving him all kinds of trouble.
Oh, just manages to get it. Oh, and almost gets hit before picking up the Triforce.
Almost got sniped.
Saved by the bad hitboxes.
Indeed. And with that, he is off to 9.
Yes, he has the complete Triforce. Has the bow.
Yes, Jake Hooper. These item in 7 is the silver arrows.
Yeah. So while we have Paratroopa heading to level 9, for people who've joined in late, let's recap what the items were. Level 1 had the magic key and a heart container. Level 2 had the all-important ladder, which our racers found late. Level 3 had the power bracelet. Level 4 had the recorder. 5 had the book. 6 the raft. 7 the silver arrows. 8 the red candle and the wand, and thus we know level 9 has the red ring and the regular boomerang because the Armos item was the magical boomerang and the coast ladder item was the bow. Paratroopa heads north in level 9, finds a very quick hint, but unfortunately it's a community hint. Don't know if he's a fan of TLC or not, but it won't help him in level 9.
It certainly won't. And with the attack power of the magic sword, makes quick work of that Patra.
And then finds himself in the reverse sea, trapped with some red whiz robes. Again, probably grateful he has that sword. Safe to say here that Paratroopa has the advantage in level 9 first, has the magical sword, has a ring, is in good shape to clear level 9, has a good supply of bombs, but it's worth noting that in ZebGedney's last race, his opponent was way ahead going into level 9, 3 Triforces to the full set, and managed to win due to key issues, so level 9 can do just about anything to you.
It certainly can. There's a reason we call level 9 the Great Equalizer.
Absolutely. It is a very large dungeon. Often you have to explore a large part of it. There are 6 matched staircases in addition to 2 items. Just a lot of work, and it's guaranteed to be a whiz robe dungeon, which nobody likes.
And Paratroopa has found Ganon.
All right, this should be a quick fight for him. We'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, ZebGedney struggling a bit in level 7. Still has not managed to grab the Triforce. Took a death and decided to leave.
Probably going to hunt for a better sword.
A good decision, though. His clock is running out with Paratroopa having Ganon defeated. It is now just hide and seek with Princess Zelda.
Indeed. Although he is choosing to do the South Coast here first, which will pay off big because he'll get Magic Sword.
Yeah, he'll be happy about that.
Although he goes right by the room it's on.
Oh, it looks like he may have opened it before and thinks he doesn't have enough hearts.
Possible. Although we, of course, know that he does have enough hearts.
Paratroopa unfortunately taking a death in level 9, and we'll have to start back over from the beginning. ZebGedney picking up his bait. I didn't think about that. We do know that it is required in level 7. So,
and Paratroopa has found Zelda.
That shutter door opened. I don't think I've ever seen her in that room before, but Paratroopa has found Zelda and has taken this race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 36 seconds.
I don't know. Hey.
Hello, Paratroopa. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
So, how happy were you to find the silver arrows in level 7?
Extremely relieved. At that point, so I had 5 left. I still need to find an item in there, and I decided that I was going to search 5 if I had to, because I didn't want to go into 9. Like, I wouldn't have gambled in 7 for the silver arrows probably, but I think I would gamble in 5 and hope that I could find an item there, because the red ring was also still available. But I found the silver arrows in 7, and I'm like, at that point, I thought I had a very good chance to win, because I felt like everything had gone really well for me up to that point, and then I found the silver arrows, and that was actually pretty close to a PB for me, I think.
It definitely paid off for you. 5's item was the book.
Oh, wow. That's bad. But I didn't have to look for it. So I just took the Triforce and left really early, and I never came back. And so that's good. So 9 had the red ring and the boomerang, huh?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, I didn't have to find either of them. Sounds good. This is a really low rupee seed, so I needed to buy the blue ring, and that caused money problems later. Never found either of the bomb upgrades, but I didn't need them, so that was good.
Yeah, it was a relatively quick 9.
Yeah, that was one of the least bad 9s I've seen. Like, I had to explore a fair bit of it, but nothing was really difficult. Ganon wasn't hard to find. It was just back in the way back. And then Zelda was, just kind of sitting there. So it wasn't a super quick 9, but it was awesome. I am super happy with how that 9 went. I have no complaints. Could be so much worse.
Yeah, it definitely can. That was very speedy, and time of 1 hour and 2 minutes in any randomizer is very good. So yeah, that is definitely a time to be happy about.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I think that's actually a PB. I'm not certain about that because I'm not really keeping track, but I don't think I've ever had a time that quick. No, I have. Never mind. Once I lied. But yeah, that's a really fast time. This sea just went really well for me.
Yeah, I think for both of you, for the most part, it flowed pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
ZebGedney's having a little trouble in level 7 and did explore level 5 for the book, so has just had to spend a little bit more time doing things. He is still in level 7 at this point.
Yeah, I see that now. 7 was funny. I don't know if I actually needed... Like, I wasn't thinking clearly enough, so when I saw the meat block, I'm just like, oh, I gotta get out and get the meat. Quick. But I didn't think to, like, actually look for alternate routes. There could have been a way around. But I had enough money, so I just went and bought the meat and didn't worry about it. But that was funny. I wasn't expecting to see the meat block at that point, and I wasn't going to buy the meat because I was low on money. Because the secrets were so bad. So, yeah. But that was amusing.
Yeah, at that point, you hadn't been through a ton of level 7, so there was a chance to explore, but you probably would have had to go all the way around.
Right.
Spend a lot of time, so a decision that paid off. That's a lot of what Randomizer does come down to, is just making the right decisions at the right time.
Yeah, and if you're going to make the wrong decision, at least make it quickly. So I don't know if that was the wrong decision, but at least I made it decisively and it worked out. I don't know if there was another way to get in there. The top of 7 was kind of weird. Like, it didn't seem like I could get back to the bottom half. The Triforce room was blocked off. I tried to go down, but couldn't. So that was really annoying. Oh well. Well, that didn't hurt me. Or, well, it didn't end up killing me.
Yeah, it's tough when those little decisions end up causing the race to break one way or the other, but that's sometimes how it goes.
Yeah, that did take me like probably like a minute to go back and get it, but maybe not that long. But fortunately, I was well ahead. So yeah, like I said, I should have checked it. I should have checked to bomb the left wall because that could have been a way around, but I just didn't think to because I just saw the meat block. I'm just like, oh, gotta go, you know, because I don't know how far ahead I am at that point. So that was just the decision I made. It was the wrong decision, but at least I made it quickly.
So 10 heart magic sword. How big was that to find?
Oh man, I was hooting and hollering. I just let out a bit like woo when I got that because I was like, I don't know if I should try this, but I'm kind of close by. So I'm like, you know, like if it doesn't work, then I wasted a few seconds. That's not a big deal. But if I get it, I could break the race wide open right now because it's so unlikely that he would also do that. And if he did, then I would be in trouble. So I decided it was worth just the pot odds were good. It was worth a few seconds to try it. And if the 20% chance didn't work, then whatever. You know, it wasn't a big loss, but it was a huge gain if it worked. And it worked. And I was very excited because that was huge for taking on 6 because the Wizards made that a lot quicker.
That was definitely a big advantage for you. Zeb is still on wood sword.
Oh, yeah, because the white sword was in the power bracelet spot south of the fairy fountain. So that was also in a stupid place. I didn't really need it that much at the time because I had wand, but it was nice. Because I didn't think I was going to get magic sword. So I'm like, well, I have white sword for Ganon now. That's good. Because I don't want to do Ganon with wooden sword. I'm terrible at that. But, yeah. Magical sword was great.
Yeah, 16 hits on Ganon. I would not want to do that.
No, I can, but it would blue ring and wood sword with 10 hearts. Even with a potion, that's sketchy. I could do it because I could do the stem lock, but I'm not great at it.
Yeah, it's not something you want to have to rely on. So anything you can do to help your consistency
absolutely
tends to be a good decision.
Absolutely. So finding the white sword was nice, but I didn't need it. Because I ultimately got the magic sword, and that was better.
So I'm assuming that when you found level 7 very early on, that it was a deliberate decision to just pass it up and say, I'll come back here when I need to and no sooner.
Basically, yeah. Actually, I thought it was 6 at first, but then I saw the reverse C and I realized it was 7. I don't think I knew what enemy set was in there. Maybe I did, but I forgot. But I'm like, yeah, it's 7. Basically, if I can, I'll do 7 last. I prefer to do the dungeons. I'll do them in order of if I find them and I can do it, then I'll do it. I didn't have this sword at the time, so I couldn't even go in anyway. But if I have to come back, then I'll do it last, basically. So I did 7. I was going to look for the item in 7. If I didn't find the item in 7, depending on how much I cleared, I'd go looking for it. Then I would have gone looking for the item in 5, and then I would have gone into 9. A lot of people would just go straight to 9, and I totally understand that, but that's just not how I prefer to do it. So, but yeah, definitely going into 7 last was definitely a thing that I planned to do from the very, very start.
Yeah, you can definitely make an argument for doing either one, either clearing the easier dungeon or hoping that you find the item along the way. But 9 is not a level you want to get lost in or have to spend a lot of time in.
I had considered going back to 7 early to see if that reverse sea room was an item, but it just never. I forgot to do it when I had the chance, and it never really worked out. So I didn't go back there right away. That turned out to be the right decision because it was not an item. I couldn't do it at the time because I didn't have a sword. I found the sword right after, but
yeah. So with that win, you will be moving on to the winners quarterfinals.
That's right.
And your opponent will be the number 10 seed, Amazing Ampharos.
That's right.
Do you have any thoughts about that? Thoughts about that race? Have you watched him play?
That's going to be a tough matchup. I've talked to Ampharos a lot, and I've learned a lot from him. He definitely knows his way around Randomizer really well. That's going to be a really tough match. So I think he's pretty similar to me, like in terms of his knowledge and play style, but he's just a little bit faster. So I'm going to have like a really lucky or really good game to beat him. He's just slightly better than me in every way, I think. It's not a huge gap, but like I can still win. But it's going to be a tough match. I'd say it's 60-40 in his favor.
Well, that should be another good one to watch. And as we've noted, that even though we did seed people for the tournament, it hasn't meant a whole lot.
No.
So just between 10 and 18 is very small. So should be to watch.
I was terrified of ZebGedney. Like I thought, like if he's like practicing hard, he could definitely beat me. Even if I have a decent day, he could still beat me because he beat Unos. I mean, so you never know what can happen. So I was really fortunate to have a really good run here. Seeding doesn't mean that much, and the difference between seeds, like the top guys are really good, but then like us middle guys, we're all like, we could have a good race or a bad race on any given day. So who knows.
Yeah, very much an any given Sunday sort of situation.
It turns out it's that way for the top guys too. So, who knows?
That's why you hold the tournament.
Absolutely.
The results aren't set in stone.
They're definitely not. Yeah. Stop that. I have a 7-year-old in the room.
So
Jam's just being silly in our ear. Don't worry about it.
The other interesting thing to note about your upcoming race is that it will be on the new tournament flags, where we'll be adding in a few new quirks. How does that make you feel? Do you think that's going to make it harder, easier, just different? What are your thoughts about the changes that are coming up?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to favor me or not. It's definitely more difficult. So let's see. The flags that are changed are you start on a different screen, which can be really crazy if you start in Death Mountain. All of the dungeon rooms are randomized, which I think is a really big deal because that can change like ladder blocks. You could suddenly get blocked in 1, 2, or 3. Everything's all jumbled up. Then let's see. Random enemy HP that can be really scary because those like super hard blue Riz robes I cannot deal with. But then like also like some stuff gets easier, so it's really like random and weird. What's the other one I'm missing? Oh, Shuffle White Sword. That's like a really big deal too, I think, because I really don't do well with Wood Sword. I really like finding White Sword, and knowing that that's on the overworld can really increase the consistency, because you just like know you're going to find White Sword. It's not going to be a 9. You can't have like a Red Ring White Sword 9. That's awful. Yeah. Oh my god. That's where the red ring is. Red ring. That's funny.
That's where
Oh,
Zeb
well.
just found it.
Whatever. Wasn't a big deal. I died in 9, but it was actually faster to die in 9 anyway, so it didn't really matter. But that's funny. I was never gonna check there, so it didn't really matter. But yeah, so the different flags, it's going to be tricky because I haven't practiced those flags as much, so I'm going to need to do some work on that. But it's going to be interesting for sure. Definitely a little bit more random than we're used to.
It should definitely be fun to watch too. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it. I'm going to need to practice hard because I'm going to do SGDQ in a week. So I have to get ready for that and also practice for the tournament. So it's going to be like tough, but we'll do it. I've done enough randomizer races that I'm used to the weird flags at least. So it's all good. Yep, definitely.
So, do you have any other final thoughts about this race?
No, I don't think so. It was like pretty standard race for the most part. The 10 Heart Magic Sword was like the crazy thing. I was really relieved to find Ladder in 2 up in the northwest. There were a couple of big points of relief actually. Level 1 could have been on the coast. Well, it was on the coast, and it was on the coast from the hint. But it could have been in the raft spot, and it was in the last spot before that. So that was a big relief. And then 2 could have been anywhere, and I was getting low on spots that weren't raft spots, but it was in Death Mountain, so that was good too. So everything just broke really well for me, and that was just a nice race. That's all I really have to say about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and again, congratulations on your win.
Yeah.
We'll be sticking around to see how ZebGedney fares in level 9. He is continuing to search.
Yep.
And he has just found the other item, and the look of disappointment on his face.
Yeah, he still does not have silver arrows, so he now knows
Oh no.
that
He
he
has
has
seen,
to leave
he has
level
seen
9.
every other item. He knows he has to go to 7 to find them.
Wow. So I did get a little bit lucky there. That's good. I need luck to win. I don't know if I would have. Well, based on the position of the items, I might have still been able to win even if I went into 9 first. I'm not certain about that though.
No, it appears I was wrong. He did not get the raft out of 6 yet.
Oh no,
So he's checking there first.
Oh man, that was really easy to find. It was just I went down the stairs and then it was just south of that. So hopefully you can find it.
Yeah, this is definitely a nightmare situation for a racer when
Yeah,
you're just
really.
making all the wrong decisions. And
Really
you don't-
unfortunate luck.
and you can't hold it against the person.
Absolutely,
They don't
not.
have the information, but it's just time lost.
Yeah, these kind of decisions. This is not because Zeb is a worse racer than I am. I'm not saying that's true either. Like it's because just luck, just going one direction to the other. That's just, there's nothing you can do about that in Randomizer sometimes. All you can really do is have good enough decision making to like help you out in situations where things go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It is a lot of luck.
It just happens. Oh yeah, there actually, yeah. So during this race, I had to take care of my little brother. He's 7 years old, and so he watched me like play the entire race, and he was like asking me questions about what was going on the whole time. He's played Zelda 1 before. He was like, oh, yeah, so like everything's in different places. I'm like, yep, that's exactly right. Let me explain all the randomizer mechanics to you while I play this tournament race. So that was funny. He was really amused by the robots. If you were a robot, what power do you have line? He thought that was funny. I'm like, yeah, they just say silly things in this game. That's how it is. I somehow won with that distraction going on, so that was a handicap. I'm just kidding.
That's pretty good. But yeah, learns that the Zelda randomizer community has quite a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah. I'm getting him started on this early. I guess he'll be ready to race this when he's like 8. No problem. I did teach you quite a bit about this game. Apparently, he's like, oh, you found the magic key, and I'm like, how did you know that? He was like, oh, I saw it on the start screen, and I'm like, okay, wow, you know what the magic key is. They had to correct me. I said, oh, I had to go get the meat. He's like, no, it's called food. I'm like, it's meat. Like, I don't care what it said on the start screen. It's meat. It's like, oh, I thought you'd eat it to restore your health or something. I'm like, no, you just give it to this mummy. This mummy who says quack quack.
Definitely
yeah,
be
that
confused.
was a good one.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I've actually never seen that one. That was funny.
But hearing references to Lord Banana would definitely throw him off a bit, I think.
Yeah, we never even saw the boomerang, so I never had to explain. Oh, it's a banana. I found the gross banana, which I just described as the magical boomerang. He was like, "Oh, why didn't you want to find that?" I'm like, "'Cause it's not very good." But he was like, "Oh, it's a magical boomerang, yay!" And I'm like, Actually, the magical boomerang was really helpful because I used it to stun Lionels and not die, so I can't complain.
So will you have him ready to take on Crystal Saber in the next tournament?
Definitely. I mean, anything could happen. So, based on the upsets we've seen, it wouldn't be the weirdest thing.
I don't know. Do we know who the youngest Zelda randomizer racer is? 7 might be it. It's definitely starting early on us.
Yeah, definitely.
No idea who's the youngest in the crew.
I don't think we have any 7-year-olds. I might behave like a 7-year-old sometimes, but mentally I might be a 7-year-old, but no.
And ZebGedney has just discovered that he spent all that time in level 6 to find the raft.
Yep. Which might lead to an overworld heart at best. I don't know for sure. I never went looking.
He just decided not even to bother picking it up.
No, I picked it up, but I don't really know why in retrospect. I don't know. Oh yeah, I remember I was in 6 and I couldn't figure out there wasn't a room that I was trying to bomb into for some reason because I got the shape of the map mixed up. Oh well. Now I see how it works. But yeah, I shouldn't have picked up the raft because I was never going to use it anyway, but I did. So, whatever.
For a moment there, you thought you were in 100%. It's okay.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's a good thing that I didn't, pick up the book. So I did use the wand a lot, so I'm actually really glad I didn't pick up the book. So yeah, he's going to go back into 7 now. And the silver arrows weren't actually easy to find, which is why I was super thrilled when I found them. So I was like, they're in a difficult place, and I just got them. So that's huge for me.
Yeah. Reminds me of the race, my tournament race I played last night. Ladder was in 7, and it was a pain to find.
Yeah, and that's a bad thing if you're going for a fast time. But if you think that you're the first to found it, then it's a good thing. That's great sometimes. It depends. But most people don't go into 7 and explore for items early, so usually if ladder is deep in 7, both people are going to find it at the same time. I just got a little bit luckier here, basically.
You certainly did. As I discussed earlier, one of the big things was having better swords.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Having that wood sword, that just slows you down so much. It's too bad they didn't roll magic sword, because he would have it by now. He even has a 40% chance for it. But as we know, it's 100%.
He even went right by it on the way to get the bow off the coast and didn't check.
Yeah, that's you should. In my opinion, if you have a chance at magic sword and you're right there, you should always check it, even if it's a low chance.
Yeah, that's what I do.
For me, I wasn't sure if it was going to be the right decision to go like 4 rooms out of my way. There's the Soros. He's got him now. So now he shouldn't take him too much longer. Has he found Zelda yet?
I don't believe we've...
Okay. Ganon wasn't too hard to find. He was just straight to the left. Wasn't really anything impeding the path towards him. The only thing that could go wrong is he could go the wrong way. Still not going for magic sword though, so he's going to be fighting Ganon with the stick.
16 hits.
Yeah, he does have the red ring though, so that'll help. If he has a potion, he could probably do it. He could probably do it without, honestly, but I guess it's not too dangerous. If you're tanked up, it's not that dangerous. I wouldn't have been able to do it with my blue ring and 10 hearts, though. I think I would have died for sure if I had wood sword. Well, I don't know. I could have done it. It's risky, though. I probably would have kept exploring the overworld for white sword, honestly. I'm that much of a wuss.
Well, there's also the decisions you have to make when you have a sense of whether you're ahead or behind.
Oh, absolutely.
It seems like you felt like you were ahead at that point, so you could make the decision to go a little bit out of your way to check Magic Sword. And of course, if your screen scrolls are on point, then it only takes a couple of seconds from start or anything like that.
Yeah. I think at the time I suspected I was ahead at the time. But I think I would have done it even if I suspected I was behind. Just because, like, in my thinking is, well, if I'm right about this and I get the Magic Sword, then that would propel me ahead. You know, that could be the difference in the race. But if I'm ahead, then it's like, well, it's not that much of a cost in time. And if I get it, then I secure my win, basically. When I got the Magic Sword, I was like, okay, I probably won this race. Like, I wasn't going to be like, oh, yeah, I definitely won, because that's when 9, like, trolls you and then you lose. But I was like, yeah, that was a really big deal. That was hugely lucky for me.
Yeah, a well-thought-out gamble that paid off.
Yeah.
ZebGedney manages to kill Ganon with just a half a heart remaining, though he did have a potion on backup, which he will likely use right now.
Mm-hmm. I accidentally used my potion when I was fighting Ganon. Because I didn't have my silver arrows out. And I was just like, ah. But didn't really matter that much.
Yeah, I noticed that. Luckily, it didn't hurt you any.
Yeah. So you should be able to go right to Zelda now.
Here's the room. And there we go. He has finished with an SRL time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, 40 seconds.
GG.
All right, and in just a moment, we'll have ZebGedney in here with us to discuss the race. There are no more races tonight, but there are 5 races over the course of the day tomorrow, assuming you're in the Eastern time zone or thereabouts. So keep an eye out for those. And welcome, ZebGedney.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So one thing I want to ask right off. When you went over to get the bow, you went right by the Magic Sword Cave and did not check it. What was your thinking there?
I forgot it was over there. It was right on my map. I just forgot it was there. I can't remember. I think at that point I was kind of really flustered because I had gone into 7. I had thought it was 6, and I had gone through 6 thinking it was 7. I don't know why, but I did. So when I got the Triforce out of 6, I just left. And then I went to 7, which I thought was 6. At that point, I believe I realized that I had it all messed up. My tracker was all thrown off, and I just kind of got really flustered at that point and just... Yeah, at that point, I was like, well, I probably should go get the bow. I need the arrow. I probably am going to need meat, which I forgot was at start. So, yeah, I just fell apart at that point.
Yeah, it turned out you could have picked it up. Magic Sword only required 10 hertz.
Ah, that's unfortunate. I think
Would have been a big help for you searching 6, 7, and 9.
Yeah, at that point, I think I just got kind of stubborn. Because after I left 7, I went to go to 9. I just was like, well, I could check Magic Sword, but at this point it was over, so I figured why not go for it.
Yeah, man, GG. Yeah, I picked up the Magic Sword at 10. I got really lucky there because I just went for it randomly and I got it. So that was awesome. Like a huge thing for me. So I got really lucky in this run.
Well, I mean, great race. I think I can't remember exactly when you finished, but I had shortly before that realized I had 6 and 7 flipped, and at that I only had 1 Triforce to go, so it wasn't too bad. But
yeah,
once I realized I didn't have Silver Arrow, and after going back to 4, which I thought I was ladder blocked on. I thought I was in a tea room. I should have used my candle, but it turned out I wasn't ladder blocked. Then of course it wasn't. It was only the whistle, so it didn't even matter.
Yeah,
then,
I got that in my first trip there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I found silver arrows in my first trip into 7, which was again really lucky on my part.
Wow, that's great because
Yeah,
once I know it's 7, I just say, let's find the Triforce, and I think the math at the point wasn't too bad that silver arrow was not going to be a 7. I think based on what I still had, I think it was a pretty good chance it could have been a 9, but oh well. Yeah, I think I had a
because the raft was still out there too. So
right, I didn't have the raft. I didn't have the recorder. So, and then with Boomerang, Red Ring, and Silver Arrow still out there for me, I figured it's worth a shot.
yeah, definitely. And I don't know what I would have done. I didn't have the item in 5 yet, but I did have the one in 6.
5
so
was
I would have had a
pointless.
choice to make there.
It
Yeah,
was
I
a
know.
book,
That was
yeah.
lucky on my part.
I dug. I went back in, I think 3 different times looking for it,
Ooh.
and yeah, I was not happy to see that it was the book.
Yeah, I found 5 really early, so I found the Triforce Ring right away and just left and never came back. That's just how it goes.
Nice, yeah, good call. Yeah, I thought it wasn't going to be too bad once I don't think it was all that bad of a seed. It's just for me, I just made a couple of really bad decisions, but having the magic key in 1, I found that really quickly. I don't think I even picked up a key before I picked that up. So
Wow.
yeah, that was nice.
I found out a little bit later. I was still pretty early, but not as quickly as that.
Early enough to not make. I mean, to not make keys an issue going forward. That's always something nice.
Definitely.
So yeah, great race to you. I don't know who you have.
Yeah.
Who do you have next?
Amazing Afros.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck.
Yeah, thanks. And good luck in your next race as well.
Thank you. I think I have a wait now for a week or so.
Yeah, you have a couple of weeks. You're in the bracket along with Putz, Cantaloupe, Adirondack Rick, and Vicnin. So you have a little bit of time.
Some pretty tough competition in there. So yeah, I guess I just gotta keep practicing and I don't know, make some better decisions. So
yeah, you definitely played well. Both you and Paratroopa were fairly close most of the way through. It really was some of those end of the game decisions that end up being your downfall, not finding the silver arrows in 7 right away, and also choosing not to check the magic sword and and being stuck with wood sword for as long as you were. Those were sort of the big changes, and of course exploring 5 were probably the biggest deciding factors there.
Oh well, what are you gonna do?
But it's tough to be too upset. Of course, you did get here by beating the number 2 seed, Unos,
which was a crazy still the luckiest thing ever. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad to have made it this far. I know my first race was an absolute blast. Cora, I know that we, doing that swordless run for almost 55 minutes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, you've had an adventurous path to get to where you are, and I'm sure there will be some more good runs on the way.
Yeah, hopefully at least I'd like to get at least one more in. Not one more, but 2 more. I'd like to win another one, but we'll see. There's some tough competition that's coming up behind me, so we'll see what happens.
It has been wild up to this point. We've seen some crazy wins, some interesting races, and I know I'm looking forward to watching more. Glad to be able to participate.
Same here.
Yep. All right, well, I'm gonna head out. So GG, Zeb, and thanks for casting, everyone. So I'll see you around next time.
Thanks to everybody. Yeah, thanks to all the thanks to Jam for restreaming and Core Zero and JLo for commentating.
All right, thank you for joining us in the competition, and we look forward to seeing both of you in your upcoming races.